back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan. Fallout 76 received its first big expansion today in Wild Appalachia. Well, at least its first wave, because remember, in a week, it's getting another wave. But this one was big, with new quests, new creatures, new events, all kinds of bug fixes, and many, many more things. Even some things we didn't know were going to be in there. The patch notes are down in the description if you want to see it afterwards. There is so much, I don't know if I'm going to get to cover it all, so let's jump right in. The patch is 20 gigabytes for consoles and 13.7 gigabytes for the PC. Bethesda also released a new trailer today as well that's going on in the background, so be aware of that. And it's very cool. You get to see the Sheepsquatch just a little bit, and it is a bad dude. And I just have to say, I called it Sheepsquatch all the way. And if you haven't done your homework on the Sheepsquatch, be sure to go watch The White Thing of Boone County, Scary Places. It's awesome. Okay, the first thing we know, there is a new quest line that is coming that is called Wasted on Nukashine. And by the way, the patch notes goes into that pretty extensively, and we'll talk about it toward the end of the video a little bit more, so stick around. But there's a brand new quest line that is coming. And by the way, let me mention, Bethesda is also opening up some new underground areas that you're going to see in that trailer. Wow, they're opening up all kinds of areas, not only on the map and going to be outside the map, but they're opening up underground areas. That is so cool. Of course, along with this new quest line, there is a new crafting system which has brewing and distilling. We knew that that was coming. You get to make your own moonshine. You get to make many of the alcoholic beverages that are already in the game, and you're going to make new things like Nukashine, and we get to see what it does as well. Then there's the Fasnacht parade. I know I'm not saying that exactly correct again. Jacob, forgive me. He tried to help me out on that. It is the annual thing that happens in Helvetia once a year, signaling the end of wintertime. This is going to be evidently an annual thing in Fallout 76, a week-long event that happens in Helvetia. And again, this is going to be a week-long event. You can only do it for a week, so it's going to start right now, so it's only going to last a week, so remember that. Very, 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 very cool event, by the way, as well. The Fasnacht Parade. It is the bots of Helvetia, and this is where you can get the masks that I've been looking for since the very start of the game. One of the things I failed to mention, they added a fermenter to the camp system that comes along with probably the quest line for the Nukashine. So you get a fermenter, which you can make wine and beer and Nukashine and all that. That is another item that has been added to your camp, so that is neat. Now, another thing that we talked about is the energy and heavy weapons. The energy weapons, if you'll remember, I broke this down in an earlier video. The amount of condition damage that heavy energy weapons take per shot has been greatly reduced. Boy, and those energy weapons really take damage really bad, and their condition goes down really bad. Well, it says now that they should last 4 to 5 times longer before needing repairs. That is a great change that Bethesda brought. Then also with the heavy weapons, and this would be like the automatic miniguns, the 50 cals. We also broke this down in an earlier video. They have slowed down the rate of fire and increased the damage, and I think this is great. This means they're going to use less ammo, but again, they will do about the same amount of damage but use less ammo. So that is a great, I just think that's a great addition that Bethesda brought, because that 50 cal, I love using that 50 cal. Boy, it feels so good to use it, but you just rip through ammo so quick. So they slowed down the rate of fire and increased the damage that it makes. So two really good changes to the weapons that they brought in this update, in this expansion. Another one that we broke down in the last video, and the only reason I'm going to mention it here is because if I don't, somebody will say, why didn't you mention it? Is the camp crafting and workshop changes and adjustments. Remember, I told you they did not increase the camp budget, but it's going to feel like it, because what they did is they changed the way that, like turrets and decorations and all those, they changed their value. They made their value lower, so it's going to feel like your camp now is bigger. And let me just read how they articulate it. It's going to sound better. Some camp objects, such as turrets, lights, now consume far less budget, but also have a maximum amount that can be placed in a camper workshop. These objects' recipes in the crafting menu now display how many of that item have already been built. So in other words, you can only build like 4 turrets, but the amount that turret takes up in the camp is not near as much as it used to be. You know, used to, a turret took up so much of your camp budget. It's not going to now, so it's going to feel like you have much more camp budget. Also, it says camp placement adjustments. Occasionally, new camp content may need to occupy a space in the world that was previously unusable as a camp location. When this occurs, a new no-build zone will be placed in that spot. Remember, we talked about this as well in the last video. As much new content as they are bringing into the game, they are going to start having to do no build zones. Where they're going to have new content coming, there's going to be places where you used to be able to put your camp, but now there's going to be a quest item there. They may be building a structure, they may be opening up something, they may be opening up more of the map. That may become a no build zone in the future. And if you have your camp there, they're going to allow you to move your camp for free. And that's all that is talking about there. Here's a couple of things we weren't told about, but they're kind of cool. A new AFK timer, that's away from keyboard, for those of you that don't know. The timer that disconnects players after a period of inactivity is now 25% longer when sitting or sleeping. So in other words, if you sit down in a chair or sleep in a bed and then have to walk away, go to the restroom, go get something to drink, your game will not shut down or shut off, disconnect from you. It's going to last 25% longer. So that's a very, very good thing, I believe. And also, this is a new thing that, again, we weren't told about. There is now a new destroy option will appear in place of drop. So you will not only be able to drop an item, you will actually be able to destroy an item. Oh, this is scary. When the player has exceeded the absolute maximum weight limit of 1,500 pounds, okay, so when you get to 1,500 pound carry weight, remember that is your maximum when you're carrying around all this stuff, and I've never gotten there, and you've got to drop stuff. You will also have an option not just to drop, but you will also have an option to destroy. Oh, I can just see me destroying my lever action double shot 45 caliber. Oh, oh no. The dev note on that, it says, as part of our ongoing quest to improve the game's overall economy, performance, and address items created as a result of exploit abuse, we've decided to implement a destroy option for players who have surpassed the absolute weight limit. This should also help reduce cases of excessive item hoarding, as well as prevent duped items from being dropped and making their way into unsuspecting players' hands. The more items that are in the world, the rougher the game runs, in other words. So they want to get rid of as many items in the world as they can. So that's just another option that they have brought to the world. Then after that, we have just some changes to the menu, some little cosmetic changes to the item shop. And again, like I said, the menu, and one change to the chat where you can actually turn down the chat. Just some little changes like that, and then a huge list of bug and fixes of quests and things like that. So a huge list. Again, the patch notes will be, or a link to the patch notes will be in the description below. But Bethesda has been working overtime in this expansion, and again, this is only wave number 1. If you'll look at that trailer, there is so much more that is coming. We've got the legendary vendor that is coming. We've got another mode that is coming. We've got, if it didn't come in this patch because I didn't read it in the patch notes, we've got a backpack that is coming that's going to increase our inventory as we're in the world. We've got more new quests that are coming. We've got the vaults that are opening up. We've got all kinds of things that are coming in the future. And in just 1 week, guys, 1 week, we are going to have more things coming in this Wild Appalachia. So stay tuned to KingFanMan and Bethesda for more from Fallout 76. I can't wait. But right now, I'm going to get to Fallout 76 and get to playing and see how this is going. But I want to hear from you in the comments. Tell me how the performance of this is. And can I just say one thing before I go? Remember, when you have a patch or an expansion that is this big, especially with an online game, you're going to have a little bit of bumps, okay? And they're probably going to have to do a hot fix with this, okay? But y'all be sure and tell me down in the comments how that performance is. I would really like to hear from you guys. I sure would. Now, before I go, I want to, and this is not a paid ad at all, but I do want to give a shout out to my local game store, Double Header. And if you are in Arkansas or ever think about coming to Arkansas and you want the best game experience you've ever had and want to get served by the best people in the gaming industry, then come to Double Header with a D, Double Header. They are the nicest people in the world. Anytime I get a chance, I go down there, even if I have no money, just to hang out and talk to them. And again, I'm not doing this for money. I just wanted to give them a shout out. Almost everything I get game-wise comes from them. So I just wanted to say hi to Drake and the guys down at Double Header. So thank you guys for being so awesome. And with that, I'll say one other shout out. I've got a wonderful subscriber. Most of y'all know him as Texas Canuck. He has a sweet son named Jack that is on the list to get a kidney. He needs a kidney transplant. I want to just ask you to pray for him. And there is on my Twitter page, I share it all the time, Kidney for Jack, hashtag Kidney for Jack. Y'all share that if you're on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram. And please pray. Let's pray for Jack and get a kidney for Jack. Jack, we're praying for you. Kidney for Jack. Man. Jack, we're behind you. With that said, y'all check my other links down below. I am the KingFanMan. I hope to see you out in Wild Appalachia. Bye, guys.